What did you think about the story of these 8-year-olds that are taking a knee during the national anthem at this elementary school because they asked their coach about Colin Kaepernick? He told them, they said, oh, that sounds cool, we want to do it too. And the parents actually supported it.
The flag and really the blood that has been spilled on behalf of all of us for our freedoms. I'm the daughter of a veteran, and this is deeply offensive.
You're not happy with your country, so I'm going to take a knee. So maybe the country can raise up to their standards of an 8-year-old.
Fox and Friends have a love-hate relationship when it comes to protests. They follow dear leader.
We have great people representing our country, especially our soldiers, our first responders, and they should be treated with respect.
And even take his blood money from him.
I want to thank all of our sponsors, Brush Hero, Zero Vital, and the Trump Make America Great Again Committee. They help provide this podcast free for you every week.
Because whatever he orders...
When somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of a bitch off the field right now, out, he's fired.
Goes.
Little kids in high school are doing it.
Right, because they don't understand.
Those who sacrifice everything can be found on the ground in Afghanistan as we speak. U.S. soldiers fighting and dying to keep this country safe.
What exactly are you kneeling for, and why have you chosen the flag and the anthem to do it?
Even if it's outlined a million times.
And going back to the military thing, it's a freedom that men and women that have fought for this country have given me this opportunity by the contributions they have made.
So here we are.
What did you think about the story of these 8-year-olds that are taking a knee during the national anthem at this elementary school because they asked their coach about Colin Kaepernick? He told them, they said, oh, that sounds cool, we want to do it too. And the parents actually supported it.
With adults criticizing 8-year-olds.
I'm a parent. You guys are all parents. These 8-year-olds don't know what they're doing. They're following the lead of their parents, and this is a very political statement that they have no idea what.
You wouldn't support it.
But it's interesting when the tables are turned.
Jill, you say that your boys, the boys there, were targeted. Was it because they were wearing MAGA caps?
I think that was one of the reasons they were targeted.
On their approach, you see, when kids they agree with are under fire, they scream, they're just kids, leave them alone.
We're all parents. So many people watching are parents. I'm sure it was really difficult to know that you're there for the right of children that can't voice, that don't have a voice.
But when they don't agree.
You wouldn't support it if your kids came home and
Are you
said, Mama,
kidding? I would pull my kid out of that football league in about 2.5 seconds. I would never, ever allow my kids to disrespect. Every day I tell my kids, you are so lucky to live in this country.
Recall Heather Heyer's life being taken from her because neo-Nazis protested the removal of the Robert E. Lee statue in Charlottesville, Virginia. Guess how Fox News reacted?
You've been seeing sort of one explanation or one perspective. And as we have in this country with the First Amendment, we like to make sure all voices are heard.
Oh, is that right? Pete Hegseth? The same man who begged Donald Trump to pardon Edward Gallagher, a Navy SEAL who allegedly shot unarmed civilians, including a young girl, and killing a captured ISIS fighter who was receiving medical treatment and then posing with his corpse. Gallagher's platoon members allege that he threatened anyone who took issue with his actions. But what about these 8-year-olds?
I would never, ever allow my kids to disrespect. Every day I tell my kids, you are so lucky to live in this country.
Or even the goddess Megan Rapinoe.
These girls are these ladies are playing for our country. They wear USA on their uniforms every day, and they're representing all of us. No matter who's in office, even if you disagree with them, shouldn't you still support your country?
It's out of control. You got a female soccer player, women's soccer player taking a knee during a national team game against another country.
When they support you?
Try to at least understand who people are, where they're coming from, as you said.
And where the divisions are.
There's this emphasis on multiculturalism.
They're with you. But when they're not...
You play a game for a living. You get to live in the greatest country in the world. And you won't stand up for a national anthem that pays you millions?
I hope ticket sales are down. I can't believe these people are doing this. I really can't.
Like when news of a massive student protest in Colorado against a conservative-led school board proposal hit the news in 2014, host Elizabeth Hasselbeck said, what concerned me is that what I'm hearing from you, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that there is someone else behind this planting it and using these students for their own gain. What about, say, climate change and student activism?
Today is a day in which your kids might not be going to school.
If they live in New York City.
Because?
It's the Global Climate Strike Day.
Right. It's a time to, the best thing you could do for climate problems is not go to work or go to school.
Look, there is no end to this nightmare at 1211 Avenue of the Americas. Hypocrisy is not called out, facts are not checked, and when they are, they're ousted for the Ingrams, Carlsons, and Hannitys. A network built on fake propaganda that panders to, statistically, 94% Caucasian and the median age of 65 years old. This is a disconnected worldview with disconnected people who support a president that has more lawsuits and historical notions of racism than he does of being, say, fair and balanced. If you'd like to hear more thought-provoking content like TYT Sports on Facebook and to help in my journey to keep media independent, go to tyt.com/Rick.